Herman Miller designs and manufactures furniture for work environments ranging from offices to schools to hospitals. It also has a large residential offering. The company is over 100 years old, but is facing a new issue when it comes to their more mature workers.
We knew that we had, like every company in America, had a large group of the baby boomer employees who were either at or nearing retirement. The real question became, if all of these individuals at one time decided to leave the business, what would that do to us? As you can imagine, it would be detrimental.
To solve the problem, Herman Miller turned to an innovative solution, Flex Retirement. Flex Retirement is a program that allows an employee to retire by gradually reducing the number of days that they work.
You go to your work team leader and describe with them a plan for what that looks like. It could be anywhere from 6 months to 2 years. You have to have a very specific date for retirement, and you and your work team leader agree on how that's going to work, and then the process begins.
Tom Mueller has worked as an engineer and project manager for Herman Miller for almost 40 years. When he heard about the Flex Retirement program, he knew it was the right approach for him.
I started right out of college, so really this is the only job I've ever had or known, only real job.
It's really good.
I can't imagine what it would be like to just go cold turkey, just stop working. Mentally, it's a challenge even with the Flex Retirement program to get your mind around that transition.
Flex Retirement allows a senior employee the option of continuing to work and continuing to save for retirement while incrementally planning for the day when they will fully retire. This approach eases the transfer for both the employee and the company.
You want to figure out what assignments can you still do with a limited work schedule, working 20 hours or so a week. And then secondly, how do you transition your knowledge, things that you've learned over to other people?
Important work is important work, whether it's engineering, manufacturing, really doesn't matter. All of our employees are vital, and when you go, so too goes your head and the knowledge in it. It takes a lot of skill to do things like cutting and sewing. So it's important, as everyone goes, we have the ability to the best we can to be able to facilitate that knowledge transfer at all levels.
Shortly after I started Flex Retirement, our work team brought in two younger people into our department, and we put together a plan of what projects that I would begin transitioning to them. Mentoring, perhaps you might call it. What knowledge, what information, what things I've learned along the way, how to get things done.
Tom is nearing the end of his Flex Retirement program. He will soon be fully retired and leave his job at Herman Miller. Tom's looking forward to the next stage of his life, but also back at his participation in the Flex Retirement program.
As a project manager and as an engineer, I've become trained in looking at how do we implement projects. And what the Flex Retirement program does, it's a transition from retirement as an event, perhaps one-day event, to more of a process. I think it's more effective to think of it and to handle it more as a process rather than a one-day event.
Find out more by visiting wi65.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.